Hey guys, so today's video is going to be me just playing with some makeup. I'm going to just do it like a super glowy, bronzy, fun look. I don't want to go like super colorful with it, mainly because I want to try this today. I received this a couple of months back, and this is the Naked Reloaded palette from Urban Decay, and I'm going to do a look with this. So I'm just going to hop into this video, and we're just going to play with some new makeup, some that's not new, and just have a good time while doing it. And if you guys have not yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I put up new videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You guys can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter for no reason other than you just wanna, and you really should, because honestly, my Instagram feed right now is like pleasing me in my soul. It's gotten so good in my opinion, okay? I just really love it. Today, I'm gonna be using the Hourglass Vanish Seamless Liquid Foundation. I mentioned this in my favorites video, I believe it was last month, could have been the month before, but I just really like this foundation. I've traveled with it multiple times. I think my main reason that I love it so much is that you need so very little of it to make a huge impact on your skin, because it's the most full coverage. I think that a lot of the times that I've seen people say that they're not quite in love with this foundation, they're just using too much. I think that people underestimate when it says half a pump that it really means half a pump. Like, start small and work your way up instead of just starting out the way we're used to with normal foundations where you're like piling it on. I just find that I like it best when you just use a very little amount because you don't need a whole lot. I'm so excited because this video is actually in partnership again with Hourglass, and I love working with them so much. I love their products so much. They are a cruelty-free luxury brand. They're just all around wonderful. I love Hourglass, the whole team that works with Hourglass, and just their products in general are really, really luxury and quality feeling, and I end up traveling and using a ton of them. So I'm gonna start off by prepping my face. With this foundation, you do not need a primer. That's one thing to really keep in mind. This is a new moisturizer for me. I haven't tried this foundation with this moisturizer yet. We're about to find out and see if this is good. This is the new Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream. This cream is new, and it's very thick and very dewy. And I mean, like what you just saw me use, like that amount right there, plenty. You need very little of this to get that dewy effect. If you put too much of this on, it can start to feel a little bit greasy in my opinion, but this gives you such a hydrated base, and this foundation, you really want a nice hydrated base. If you need extra coverage, you can take a little bit more and like spot do it. I would highly not recommend going in with like 2-3 pumps like normal foundations. My skin is looking so good lately, I can't even handle it. Who knew that eating healthy and drinking a bunch of water would actually work? I'm gonna show you how much I do. So I like to take a little bit of it on the back of my hand, like boom. The brush that I'm going to use to apply this is the Hourglass Vanish Foundation brush. That's what I think I like about this, because the price is, you know, it's like, I think it's $56 for the foundation, but because you need so very little of it, I feel like it lasts me longer. Like I haven't hardly used any of this, and I've probably used it like 20 times now. Because my skin is doing so well right now, I really don't even need much. I like to dot it on first and then really buff it in. I feel like if you just put it on the back of your hand, you're gonna overuse foundation as well. So I put it on the back of my hand, just like a little dot of it, and then I dip into that and then work section by section. I find that that's when I get the best effect. I've used other moisturizers underneath this. You don't have to use the Tatcha one. That one's really dewy. This has a natural finish, but I like my skin to have that really luminous glow. If you use a very luminous moisturizer first, it can really help seep through the foundation and just looks so nice. And that is exactly half a pump on my face. I'm gonna turn the lights down so you guys can see it a little better. Sometimes these bright lights can really blow it out. I'm really happy with this level of it, and because I used so little product, I legitimately can barely feel it on my skin. It just kind of feels like I have a moisturizer on. If this formula isn't quite your cup of tea, I would highly suggest trying out too the Vanish Stick Foundation, which is a ton of people's favorite, mine included. I travel with this everywhere I go, and I keep one of these in my purse at all times. It is such a beautiful foundation, and I feel like it can glide over any foundation as well. So if you want this like as just a touch-up foundation, that's what I do. Even if I'm not wearing an Hourglass foundation, I'll bring this with me and a little brush in my purse. I know that sounds extra, but I'm kind of extra. Keep this in my purse. I put a little bit on a brush and I just tap where I need it. Because it's such an emollient foundation, I find that this can tap over like any foundation, even if you have a little bit of powder on, and just sort of smooth out that area if maybe you got a little bit of patchiness, or if you want to like go over your mouth after you ate dinner or something. I love it, and I always have it with me and have since I bought it the first time. If you guys haven't tried this foundation yet and you're interested, just go to Sephora and get a sample of it. A tiny amount goes a really long way, so if you are iffy on it, just go to Sephora and try it out. That's the best thing I can say for any foundation that I ever talk about, because it's so personal to each individual person. You never know if you're gonna like it or not, even based on somebody else's recommendation. I like it, someone else may not, so just go try it out yourself. Get a sample of it from Sephora. They are so happy to do that, and that will last you a long time. For concealer, I'm gonna use the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. I swear, guys, I need to give other concealers a try. I just can't imagine liking one more than I like this, okay? It's hard for me to want to try something else when I like this one so much. Do you guys have any other concealers that you think that I should try other than ColourPop? Like, it's so inexpensive and it's so high quality that it makes me just, I don't know. I'm using that same Hourglass brush, and I'm just really kind of patting it in underneath my eyes and on my eyelids, because I'm just priming my eyelids with this as well. My beautiful self-tanner is gone. I need to redo it. But you know, turns out I'm kind of lazy. So now I'm gonna go in with the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder. And you can see here, it's got the little H sifter in there, and then there sits the powder. And I'm just gonna take my little Sigma tapered highlighter brush. I'm gonna dip into that powder and take a tiny little bit of it, because I don't like to bake my under eyes at all. But lately I have been just gently setting them with powder to make them stay in place, because sometimes, I don't know if it's the weather warming up, but I've been getting a little slidey. All right, things have been getting slidey. I should take a lull. So I've been dipping in, and then I really tap off the majority of the excess. So there's just a bit on my brush. I'm just tapping under my eyes. I like this brush for it because it gets right in there, because it is that like tapered tip to it. So it just really gets right underneath your eyes. You can set any other areas of your face that crease if you need to. I like sometimes gently set just like right here, not on my nose. I like my forehead and my nose itself to be like as natural and glowy as possible, just in that little crease right around my nose. That's it. That's all the powder I personally do. Okay, so I'm getting a new organizational setup for this room, and it comes tomorrow and the next day, and let me tell you, I'm gonna make a video all about it because it's about to be super intense. Okay, it needs an overhaul. If you saw this room, you'd throw up, and you will see it, so I hope you don't. It is crazy in here, and I'm going to film that process for you, but I can't wait to get this gone. So I'm gonna be using the CoverGirl Soft Brown Ultra Fine Brow Pencil. I love this so much. It's such a good brow pencil. I think it's so underrated, and for me, it's like, if you really love the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz, this is such an inexpensive dupe to that product. It's very similar. Brow Wiz might be a little bit of a finer tip to it, but still so nice. The color of this is nice and cool toned. It's not warm at all. You're not gonna have like red brows. I feel like for my hair color, this is the absolute perfect color. Look at that. Look how fast and easy it is. And I feel like it matches my brow hair color like exactly. And the way I like to get that little front gradation like that is to take the tip of this pencil and really do the darker parts of the tail first. Get your hand used to doing your brows, because like almost in the very beginning, if you start with the front of your brow, you're almost gonna go in too heavy-handed, but once you finish the tail of your brow, you kind of know what it takes to get that level of darkness, and so you can really lighten your hand up quite a bit for the front. And just go like as gently as possible. Like I'm barely grazing this on my skin, and it gives you just like a tad bit of pigment there. You've got the spoolie side too, so if you feel like it starts to get a little bit overdone, you can really, really almost like scrape off the excess product. As painful as that sounds, it's really not. And then just kind of make it more natural. See, it's kind of like bulky up here in the front. Just kind of run that. Kind of takes it down a notch. All right, I like that. Those are easy brows. That's why this is my favorite brow product. All right, so before you start doing your eyeshadow, take whatever brush you have and just make sure your eyeshadow primer or concealer or whatever is tapped out so it's not going to have a crease in it. All right, now I'm gonna use the Urban Decay Naked Reloaded palette. Now, if you guys have not been following me for a very long time, you may not know. Oh, okay, I have not touched this yet, but wow, it's squishy. I am not the biggest fan of Urban Decay shadows. And when I say not the biggest fan, I got super stoked. It was like, these were my first high-end makeup products I ever purchased, was Urban Decay. Well, I didn't even purchase them. Okay, I got them for Christmas. Got them for Christmas from my husband. I asked for it. I was like, please get me Naked 1 and 2. I used them all the time, but it was the first like higher end eyeshadow I ever bought. And now that I mean, honestly, there's something about the formula isn't my favorite, but maybe things have changed. I have not used Urban Decay eyeshadows in what feels like years. So I want to give it another go now that I know a little bit more about makeup. Maybe I was just being too harsh on it, but maybe I wasn't. We were about to find out. All right, so this is the palette here. It is squishy. I mean, I like it better than their other packaging, I think. It's pretty. Let's see what we're looking at here. Okay. I don't know if I've ever seen a palette like this before. There's neutrals and mattes and shimmers. So comparing this to my original Naked, and it's all right. If I'm being straight up honest, and I'm not sugarcoating anything, I think that these 3 shades are the most interesting right here. Probably these 4 right here. Probably the ones I'm going to use today. These ones over here look just, they're very light, okay? They almost look like they'd be chalky on a deeper skin tone. I don't know personally, have not used them. I don't know. I just don't know if I look at this and get super excited, but instead of just sitting here and whining about it, I think I'm just gonna try it. I'm gonna go in with this shade here, which is Retro. When I first saw this online, I thought that color doesn't fit at all, but now it's the one I'm actually wanting to use. Okay, it's actually applying, okay. Preemptively judging it before using it, and that's probably a bad idea. But I just feel like, when Naked was brand new, it was the hottest palette in the world because we were limited on what we had available to us. We are no longer limited. There are hundreds, if not thousands and thousands of palettes out there that are just incredible, and brands have really stepped up their game as far as eyeshadow production and quality in general. And so it's really hard to, again, love products like this that went, like, you know, 5 years ago, I know would have flown off the shelves, and now it's like the 800th eyeshadow palette that looks like this. And I think it's sad because I know they work hard on these things, and it's just too bad. The makeup industry's gone in a way where it's so oversaturated with products now that something like this that would have excited us to the ends of the earth before, we're just kind of like, thank you, next. So I'm gonna go in to blend out the edges of this with a bit of this shade here, which is Blur. Look, it's looking a little patchy right there. Maybe. This color almost reminds me of the ColourPop palette that I just recently talked about in the video up here. It was like that really peachy palette, but I feel like that one performed a little better. These are performing just fine, but Urban Decay shadows, you know, they're so hit or miss for me. All right, so now I'm gonna take some of this shade here, which is Endgame. It's weird because Urban Decay shadows almost, well, at least these ones, and I feel like the ones before too, they almost look like they have slight shimmer in their mattes. I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, but see how it like almost like picks up the light in not a positive way. There's a bird outside going chirp crazy. He's just sitting out there chirping and chirping and chirping and chirping and chirping. And I'm like, okay, but what, excuse me? What do you want? Can you hear him? It's almost like it has a silver shift to that brown shade. Like where it's just supposed to be like a matte dark brown, it almost looks like it has a bit of like a silveriness. Do you see that? Does it look like something I couldn't create with another palette? No, I think I could definitely create this with a different palette. Yeah, I mean, I've noticed that like Kylie Jenner's makeup artist always takes her shadow up to like the front of her eyebrow like this. I'm gonna try it today because I always wonder why. Maybe it'll look amazing. Maybe it won't, who knows? So I'm gonna take some of these shimmer shades from that palette. I think I wanna start off with this one here, which is Reputation. And I'm gonna dip into that. This is my Sigma E25. Who knows if this is gonna work or not. I'm just gonna buff it up. Well, that gave me some fallout, that's for sure. I was really hoping for fallout after I finished my under eyes. That's fun. So I'm gonna take some of this shade, which is Angel Fire. I'm gonna put it on my finger and I'm gonna tap that over the center. Oh. I'm taking that up a little higher than sort of that crease I created. I did this the other day in that ColourPop video and I love the way that it looked. Oh yeah, I like that a lot actually. All right, and I'm gonna toss some lashes on real quick and then I will be right back and we're gonna finish off the rest of the face and I'm gonna show you how to fix a mistake. So all that fallout that just kind of messed up my under eyes after I finished them, I'll show you how I fixed that. All right, so lashes are on. These are the Koko Lashes Venus, which you guys know if you've been watching me lately that I am in love with. I think they're just such a beautiful lash. They're very long, but they're just so pretty. I love them so much. I'm gonna finish off my under eyes now and I'm gonna use the same colors, I think, just to kind of blend it down onto the bottom as I normally would. After my lashes are on, I actually think that this eye look is really pretty. At first, I was just like, yeah, it's fine. I mean, do I think you could dupe this out with another palette? For sure. But if you got this palette so far off of just this one time of me using it though, I feel like this is really pretty. The shimmer Angel Fire performed really well. I love it kind of tapped all the way up the center like that. I feel like it looks really pretty. So because there was so much fallout from that shimmer shade, my under eyes aren't looking that great. So I'm actually gonna do my little hourglass trick, like I just told you about before, how I keep this in my purse and I use it as needed. So what I do is I take my little Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation and I sort of take a little bit of it on my brush and I'm just personally gonna tap it right over that area. Even though I used a little powder on my under eyes, for some reason, this Hourglass Stick Foundation can go right over the top of, I feel like, anything and revive that area. Dude, it looks so good. This is what I do if I'm out and about and I get like a mishap on my skin, or if just something goes weird or something goes patchy and I feel like I need a little fix. That's my key. And voila, what fallout. All right, so I'm gonna put on some black eyeliner. This is the Makeup Geek Full Spectrum Eyeliner Pencil in Obsidian. It is almost gone because I use it every day almost. Oh yeah. These are some sultry eyes, okay? And then for mascara, I'm gonna go in with the Hourglass Caution Mascara. This is what I've been using lately when I don't do my full glam lash days. I've just been throwing on a coat of this. I've been trying to curl my lashes. It's something I'm still trying to get good at, is curling my lashes, but they always just crimp and go straight up. And that is the eyes finished, and I'm gonna move on to the rest of the face. I'm just obsessed with this right now. I can't put it down. This is the Pure Cosmetics Bronzing Act Matte Bronzer Light, and I tried this in a first impressions video the other day, which I will link up here. It was so lovely that I've been wearing it every single day. It's just such a gorgeous color, and I feel like it's gonna suit this eye look even, because it's not too orange, it's not too red, it's not too pigmented. I feel like it's just the perfect level of pigmentation. That, it looks so good. I looked this up when I was linking it in the description of my video the other day, and it gets great reviews. I was wondering what the public perception of this product was after I had used it and been raving about it. I was like, ooh, I wonder what other people think. And I saw on Ulta that people were like, bitch. And I was like, I know. I like to take bronzer right here on my face. I think it makes you look like you were just out in the sun. It makes you look youthful. I love to do that. And I feel like compliment wise, I get the most compliments on my makeup when I use bronzer right here on my face. The main compliment that people always give is like, man, you look healthy. And I'm like, thank you. This is the brush I've been using to apply my bronzer with lately, and this is the Sigma Duo Fiber Powder Blush Brush, the F15. It's just so nice because it is duo fiber and it has the Sigma Tech fibers like on the bottom. I think that's what they're called. And then it has like the synthetic fibers that come out the top, although all Sigma fibers are synthetic from what I understand. I just think they're so nice. It applies product really gently, not overly so. This product smells like chocolate. So if you love the smell of Cocoa Puffs, get ready, baby. I'm gonna go in with a bit of the darker shade. This is the Bronzing Act in Dark. So I think this one is not meant for my skin tone, but I think because these are so light, it's not gonna over apply. Yeah, like it's just, oh my God. These are so beautiful. And the inside's pretty too, like the way the mirror is. It looks like it's not gonna have a mirror by the way that it's set up on the front, and then you open it up and there's a mirror. So I think I want to try a new ColourPop Super Shock blush today, and this is the shade Quarters. Ooh, this one looks very pigmented. I don't want to overdo it. A lot of people in my comments of that video where I tried these for the first time were saying to use a beauty blender and they are really pigmented. And I actually like the fact that they're not uber pigmented when I use my brush. I don't like over applying blush and then having to fix the problem. When I use at least this Duo Fiber brush, it's really easy to control the product because you can see it's applying and I'm looking blushy, but not like too much. Maybe I'll try this one. This was Cruella. This one seems very sheer. Yeah, and it's like a peachy. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's like a peachy duochrome almost. See, this one's like kind of sheer. In person, it's so beautiful. It's very glittery, but in a not bad way. It doesn't look like too much. Really pretty color. God, cameras are so stupid. They can't pick up all of the beauty. It's like a really gorgeous peachy pinky color. I wouldn't even call it pink. Like, I feel like, yeah, it's like got an orange reflect to it, but in a really natural wearable way. I know that sounds really weird, but I promise. And then I'm gonna try this. This is the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist. I haven't used this in a while and I did like it for a while. I don't know if it was like my favorite in the world, but you know, let's see. Okay, my skin does look pretty good. All right, now I'm going to use one of the ColourPop Lippie pencils. This is in the shade Little One, and this is the one I've been really liking to line my lips with. Beautiful nude. My usual Wet n Wild Mochalicious on the inner. And then I want to try this gloss. I'm not even going to do a lipstick. I'm just going to do the liner and then the gloss. This is the Ultra Glossy Lip in Puppies. This is from the new Disney Villain collection as well. I didn't get to try this the other day. Oh my goodness. All right, and this is the finished look. All right, you guys, and this is the finished look. I hope you guys like this video. Now that the whole face is done, I feel like it came together really, really, really well. I was a little unsure about the eyes initially. I felt like they were kind of boring. I actually don't feel like that now. I feel like they're really beautiful. Do I feel like I could dupe this out with another palette? Yes, definitely. But if you have this palette, I think it's workable. And I feel like these shades actually performed better than I remember Urban Decay shadows performing. So that's a positive. I think this shade is really impactful and beautiful. And all I had to do was just like gently pat it on. There's no setting spray, nothing like that. So that's really good. I think my skin looks amazing. And I'm so glad that I was finally able to actually show you guys the trick with the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation, because I've been using that trick for over a year now, maybe even longer. And I haven't even talked about it on my channel because usually my makeup goes well. But today, having that issue with the fallout, I'm so glad that I was able to show you, like, you can just like tap this over that. You don't need much. They last a really long time because you need so very little of this as well. It's not like you need to overdo it. I think that a lot of the times with those foundations is the biggest mistake that people make is using it like you would any other foundation, because they are so incredibly pigmented. You just need the tiniest little bit. And I feel like my skin looks gorgeous and flawless, and it's just working really well. So I'm really happy with the way this turned out. Thank you again so much, Hourglass, for sponsoring the complexion portion of this video. I love their products with my whole heart. They're just a brand that I feel so confident supporting. Hourglass is such a solid brand through and through, and the people behind the brand are wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And the rest of the products I feel like performed really well too. I really liked the, was it this highlight? No, it was the Cruella. It's actually really pretty. I wish that you could see it because it's so sheer. You'd have to see it in person, I think. I did a full video on this whole collection as well, which I did link up in the eye. So if you guys are interested in seeing that whole ColourPop collection, it's so cool. And I did a look that's literally the complete opposite of this. I did like bright blue eyes and like a really bold lip. So check that out if you're interested. If you guys are interested in picking up any of the Hourglass products that I mentioned in this video, I will have the link down in the description of this video. You can also get it at Sephora and on Hourglass's website, which everything will be listed down below. I always fill in my description boxes, so if you ever have any questions, always check there. The foundation is full coverage. It has a natural finish and it has 32 shades. I feel, dare I say, Stunning. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I will see you at my next video. Bye! I'm orange, aren't I? Yes. Look like I have an orange beard. I don't think I was ever. Okay. And I am going to goo. Oh my God, Christy, stop. I can't find anything. I'm still not good at it, okay? It's something. And that is the eyes finished. That I just really like. This is the Sig. I think I want to try a new ColourPop Super Shock blush. So when you use at least this Doer Vanish foundation brush. Hourglass, where are you? Hello? Oh, here it is. I'm orange. Why? Why couldn't it make me a beautiful color? Why does it have to be literally orange? So it looks like the outer shades are the absolute biggest, and then it goes, oh my God, I almost dropped that. It sounds like a racetrack outside of my house today. I swear this street has never been busier, and I've had enough. So when we first bought this house, we moved into this street because it was such a quiet street, okay? There was literally no cars on this street ever. And then they did like a street connection. So they took our road that we live on that was like such a quiet, pristine area, and they connected it with one of the busiest streets in the city. And now it's like an offshoot of that street. So instead of it being the quietest street, it's now become one of the most trafficked streets. And we bought it literally right before this happened. We didn't even know about it. And it's so annoying. I just want to be a hermit. I feel, dare I say,